This is the second video for topic 3, and we're starting with given a function, filling out a table, and then graphing. So we're given the function negative 2x plus 8, and we're using the domain of 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I'm going to plug those in for my input. Now to find my output, we're given function notation. So y and f of x are the same thing, so we can change y to f of x for this. If we plug in 1, we got to plug in 1 every time we see an x. Negative 2 plus 8 gives me positive 6. There's my output. Let's do it again for an input of 2. Plug in 2 for x this time. I end up with negative 4 plus 8, which is positive 4. I notice that it's going down by 2, so I'm just going to continue that pattern and get 2 and 0 for 3 and 4. Now I'm going to plot those points. So my x-axis and my y-axis are f of x. So over 1 up 6, over 2 up 4, over 3 up 2, and 4, 0. Do not connect them because this is a discrete function. Now our second one, our values are 6, 9, 12, and 15 for our domain. So we're going to have to do some fraction multiplication here. So plug in 6 for x. 2/3 times 6, 2 times 6 is 12, divided by 3 is 4. So I end up with 4 minus 5, which is negative 1. Plug that in. Now I've got 9. So 2/3 times 9, 2 times 9 is 18, divided by 3 is positive 6, minus 5 gives me positive 1 for my next one. So because I can see negative 1 to 1 is adding 2, I can just add 2 because the pattern will continue. I'm going to need to change my axis a little bit just because my screen doesn't cover everything, but I'm going to make my y-axis, my x-axis go up by 3, and my y-axis will still just go up by 1 so I can fit all the points. So go ahead and plot them. 6, negative 1, 9, 1, 12, 3, and 15, 5. So if I can connect them with a line, but I'm not going to since it's discrete. However, because it has a consistent common difference, it should look like you can connect it with a line. So now we've got some U-tries. Go ahead and do these. Now we're going to use function rules with word problems. So for our first one, we're going to write a function to calculate the cost of buying X pounds of peaches if the cost is $1.99 per pound. So first I'm going to define my variables. C will be cost. I'll do P as pounds. I realize it says X pounds, but I like to use variables that represent what it means. You can use X if you want. So the cost is equal to, if it's $1.99 per pound, that word per means multiply. So I'm going to multiply $1.99 times P. And that's it. My next problem, I've got wages, W equals 7.5 times H, where H is the number of hours worked. If I write it in function notation, that means I want f of x, so I'm multiplying 7.5 times x. So I did change H to x, but when we write function notation, we usually use x in parentheses. So I'm going to find f of 15, f of 20. So if it says f of 15, that means I plug in 15 for x. 7.5 times 15 gives me 112.5. I'm going to do the same thing for f of 20. 7.5 times 20 is 150. And then the same thing for 25. 7.5 times 25, 187.5. So what do each of these answers mean? Well, the money that Martin is earning when he works 15 hours, 20 hours, and 25 hours. Christina earned $7.50 per hour babysitting, so we're going to write an equation. So I'll use y equals 7.5 times h, because again, per hour means we're multiplying. So let's make a table of values. We get to pick the number of hours, so I'm just going to do 0 through 4. If she works 0 hours, obviously she's going to make $0. Then I'm going to plug in 1 every time I see h, and then I can fill in the rest of these values for each of them. So then I'm going to plot those points. Hours worked is my x value, money made, y value. So I'm going to make my scale up by 3. And then my x value is just going to go up by 1 and plot my points. Does it make sense to connect the points in your graph with a line? Why and why not? Well, I say yeah, because you don't have to work an hour. You can work minutes, you can work a half hour, you can work 45 minutes. So you can't babysit for an hour, 2 hours. You can babysit for an hour and a half. So go ahead and try these U-tries, and that will complete this topic video.